first of all, would like to take this opportunity to really congratulate Mr. Hawk and the entire team at USTM on this great and amazing milestone of getting the approval from the NMC for a 150-seat medical college, the PS Sangma International Medical College. So on behalf of the government, Hawk Saab, I take this opportunity to congratulate you and the entire USTM family on this great achievement. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank many people, but I don't think we have enough time for that. But in particular, I would like to thank the Honorable Minister for Health, Government of India, Shri Nadda ji, and his officials, including Mr. Aditya, and the officials in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, including Madam Hekali Zimomi, and the others who have played a very, very vital role. And those who know what we have gone through to make this happen will appreciate why I took those particular names. Whereas others also have played a very, very vital role. These few individuals played a very critical role in a very difficult time when we were trying to push the approval of the PS Sangma International Medical College. Differentiates a good organization from a not that great organization. So values like quality. Now it may sound very simple, but when you believe as an organization that no matter what, we will not compromise on quality, you set a benchmark on what you want to achieve. And people sometimes will look at you and say, what are these guys thinking? That kind of quality? Not possible. But then you put that benchmark for yourself because that's what you believe in. That's the value that you have. And these are important things that one has to look at. The different principles you believe in. Principles of hard work. No matter what you believe in and what benchmark you set, there is no compromise to hard work. Whether it's an organization, whether it's individuals or students, whether it's a business, whether it's a government. The perseverance that is required. That in spite of challenges that you face, you will not give up. And you will continue to work hard. These are values that define organizations which achieve better. In the face of difficulties, these organizations come out with the best performance that one can imagine. And at the crux of all of this, I'll tell you, apart from the values and principles that are there, values of quality, values of perseverance, of hard work, principles of hard work, lies a very important aspect, which again I believe in, is a very, very strong, connected, humble leadership that is necessary. And I say this today because I was part, I should say, of the process in 2008, because I was in the cabinet then, when USTM bill was passed. And we're talking like, about 16 years back. And I'll be very frank with you. We were obviously all very, very excited. But looking at this entire journey of how USTM has gone through ups and downs and yet managed to overcome the difficulties, I think is a great testament of the team, the values, the principles, and the leadership that is today present at USTM. And I must again, as I said, congratulate Mr. Hawk for being able to provide that vision and that leadership and set those values and principles that have today made USTM, and I again repeat, made USTM one of the most important and most performing education institutions in our state and in the region of Northeast and in the country as a whole. So yes, I think Mr. Hawk does deserve a round of applause. So we should all give him a round of applause for the work and dedication that he has done. And on behalf of our family, my mother and all of us, it's really something very touching to see that Mr. Hawk has named this medical college after late P.S. Sangma. I think this is another very important quality I've seen in Mr. Hawk, is that when he gets connected with somebody, the years may pass, but he doesn't forget. You are seeing Mr. Balajit Sindram is here. He's our Honorable MLA, son of late Don Cooper Roy, the Chief Minister who gave the USTM the bill and the act to set up this university, and not more than that, gave the entire permissions, spacing, everything. And Mr. Balajit Sindram is sitting here with us. Though Dr. Don Cooper Roy is not here, I'm sure he is looking down from above and very happy to see that the seeds that he had sown in 2008, or the nurturing that he had allowed and the space that he had given, has today led to an institute like this, which is today shaping the lives of our youngsters, shaping their future, and more importantly, shaping the future of our region, our state, and the country as a whole. P.A. Sangma ji was a person who believed in investing in our youth. He used to always tell us that the greatest investment a government can do is to invest in its youth. Because the returns that come out of that is just, unlimited. You just don't know what kind of returns you may get, because it's unlimited. That's how great investments in the youngsters is what P.S. Sangma ji believed. These are his values that he had. And he instilled those values in us to ensure that when we also came in as a government, education was one of the most important things for us. There are a lot of challenges. I'm not saying that we've been able to solve everything, but the focus, the decisions that we take today are much easier for us, because there are principles and values that have been set in our mind, in our hearts, allows us to make those decisions much quicker, because we know what we want to do. And Mr. P.S. Sangma was very instrumental in setting those values for us and instilling those values in us. Mr. A.T. Mondal has given you a small glimpse of what late P.S. Sangma ji's values were. I would encourage Hawk Saab that in the campus, you can have one small hall or a small hallway dedicated to Dr. Don Cooper Roy, which talks about his life, what he was, what he wasn't, what he did, what contributions he made, what values he believed in. Similarly, P.S. Sangma ji's hall. I know you have made the whole building and a medical college in his name. You don't need a hall. But the story of P.S. Sangma, it's not just the name, it's the values and the principles that P.S. Sangma ji believed in. A.T. Mondal ji just shared with you a glimpse of what he was. Many of you will not know that when late P.S. Sangma ji was studying in St. Anthony's in Shillong, and you know how cold Shillong used to be that time, he had nothing but one half sweater. That's it. And as far as I remember, my mother and even he used to tell us that he had, I think, 2 shirts and 2 pants. That's it for his entire college career. That's all. And at the weekend, I know he will not like it when I tell you this, but in the weekend, he used to be in the towel, washing that shirt and the pant he had, the two pairs, the one pair, sorry, in two pairs, shirt and pant. And he used to wash it and wait till those clothes would dry up during those Sundays or the Saturday, because he did not have the resources to buy enough clothes. My mother will tell you that in our matrilineal society, we have to come and obviously live in the wife's house. So when late P.A. Sangma got married to my mother, he came with just one small suitcase. And he had only, I think, one pair of pants and shirts and very less clothes. And that's the humble background from which he had come, the struggles that he faced. A.T. Mandalji did not share with you, but when he was studying in Dibrugarh, he used to get up at 5 in the morning. He used to give tuitions to earn money. And then after giving tuitions, he used to again teach and give special classes in the school. Then he used to go for his MA classes, come back and again teach, then again take a bicycle and cycle for like 5 or 10 kilometers to the law college. And in the evening college, he used to study law. And by the time he used to come back from his college, it used to be 11 or 12 in the night. And there used to be cold food waiting for him, and he used to eat that cold food. And he didn't have a room, so they only gave him a hallway. So he put curtains to obviously give him some privacy, and that was his room. What I'm trying to tell you is, I don't want to go into details. I hope that that hall or the particular book or whatever you do will share a lot of that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not just the name. Yes, P.A. Sangma, it was somebody who has been a very, very important person politically for our state, for our region and the country. But the values that he had, the principle he had, I believe can be a great source of inspiration for the youngsters who are here today, to learn from the humble background he came, the humility that he expressed, and yet in whatever challenge he faced in life, he always overcame those challenges with a smiling face. And I think that is a testament of his leadership, and I hope that the college and all of you will learn, and not just from his name, as I said, but from the history and from the person that he was and the values that he believed in. Having said that, health sector is very, very crucial for us. In the last 7 years, we have faced numerous challenges in health. And again, Meghalaya has not had a great history, I should say, when it came to different infrastructures and facilities for health. So it's been a great challenge for us for multiple reasons. And I don't want to get into all of that, but it's been challenging. But again, from day one, we have always believed that saving even a single life matters. Being able to give that small care to the person who needs it at the time when they need it the most matters more than giving lakhs and crores when they don't need it. And these small values have guided us to ensure that we start investing in healthcare. Our health minister has spoken about the future that we are going to work on. Yes, things are changing. We are seeing a lot of improvement in things. But let me share you where we started off with. And when we started off, we had a lot of challenges. But now, in the matter of 7 to 8 years, you'll be happy to know that Meghalaya has today increased the money we spend on health to become one of the highest spenders in terms of healthcare to per capita or to the GDP calculation. We spend about 8% plus of our expenditure on budgets on healthcare, which is the highest in the country. The highest in the country. So we spend the highest amount of our budget compared to any other state on healthcare. Number two, we realize that it's not about just spending money. When you spend money, it has to be having the impact that you desire to have when you're spending the money. And hence we realized that we need to improve the overall infrastructures at the critical level, at the village level, PHC, CHC, sub-center, and all of those areas. We started investing in those. We realized that we need to keep training our manpower. We've invested in those. We realized that we have less doctors, and hence we were very excited when medical colleges like this and the Shillong and Tura medical colleges were on the pipeline. I can assure you, as our minister has said, that we were going to start the Shillong and the Tura medical college also very, very soon. We also realized that we need to ensure that medicine is provided to our people at the right time. And change in the medicine policy had to be done. Storages had to be created. Indenting had to be done in the correct manner so that the medicines would reach at the right time with the right quantity for the specific ailments and problems that they faced in a systematic manner. And hence we created a complete online system to manage the medicines. So today we have actually a chart that shows us in the last 3 years, 4 years, how much of the medicine supply for what particular ailment went up in which particular district. And that is allowing us today to predict and ensure that, well, we know June is coming. So in this district, they will require this particular medicine more. So technology is being used today to predict what kind of medicine supply should be given at the right time. We're investing in machines so that people don't have to travel too far to be able to get the kind of treatment or the diagnosis that needs to be done. We are using technology like never before. I was sharing with our Finance Commission Chairman that today Meghalaya can tell you exactly how many pregnant mothers are there in the state. We can tell you where the pregnant mother is. We can tell you which doctor or which medical officer is taking care of her. We can tell you if she is high-risk mother or not and where she is right now so that we are able to provide that health care. So this is a kind of micro detailing with which today we work. And I'm happy to inform you that because of technology and these policies, we were able to reduce our maternal mortality rate by close to 50%, which is the highest drop in the last 4 years, 5 years that the country as a whole has seen. And therefore these results are coming, but of course there's a lot more to be done. At this point, of course, I can go on and on about so much that the health sector is doing, but I think in a nutshell, what we're trying to tell you is it's a holistic approach. You cannot have piecemeal approaches. You cannot have just simply one medical college coming up and then not knowing what this college is going to give to us or where this college fits in to the larger picture or the canvas of the health sector and the policy that we are trying to implement. And hence, every single piece will play its role, every dot will be connected, and the larger picture of the health sector will improve, is what we are today working on. I would like to request Hawk Saab and the entire team that when we come to health, I think it will be very important to focus on two very, very important things, three things I should say. First is that today, medicine is changing. Earlier it used to be because of the medicines that were brought in, then machines and operations that were brought in. But today the revolution is taking place in terms of the information technology, AI that is available here. And I think it will be very important for the PS Sangma Medical College to be ahead of the rest of the colleges by focusing a lot on IT and how data can be used to predict how things will be in the future, where or for what reason different ailments are coming up, as was mentioned by our Power Minister, that the research has to be done in this. Coming to the second topic, so research is very important. And technology can help you do that. I would urge you, do invest in technology, do invest in AI, so that we are able to create stronger predictability models, so that we are able to provide better services and have preventive medication stronger. He was mentioning about insurance. Somebody was mentioning about insurance, I think it was Mr. Rao, that insurance is something that's important. And from a medical and treatment-driven health sector, most of the developing nations are going towards preventive health sector, which is very insurance driven. So people will stress on eating well, people will stress on exercising, and so on and so forth. So I think it's important as an institute to understand it's not about just the hospital or the doctors, it's what we can give to the society and to the future generation in terms of how health sector is evolving and what are the areas that we as a state, as a society, and as organizations should be focusing on. And therefore that's very critical. And coming to the third point is that public health is going to be something that is very, very critical in the future. A lot of challenges today are coming up. So many problems that we are facing in regards to simple things like viruses being transferred from animal to human beings. And why is this happening? What is the rate and pace at which it's happening? And what kind of impact it may have in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or 50 years? What kind of expectations do we have on large pandemics that could happen in the future? I think there are some institutes that must focus on this, and if PA Sangma International Medical College could focus on these areas, I think it would be a great blessing to the college as well as to the overall health sector and the citizens of our state at large. Having said that, I don't want to take too much of time. I am extremely happy to be here today. It is almost like a dream come true. I have, with the help of Hawk Saab, I have been a part of the journey, I should say, of USTM, I think almost in every corner and every situation. Hawk Saab, don't mind me saying this. I'll just share small things because nobody is perfect, right? I said a lot of good things about Mr. Hawk. So I'm not saying any bad thing, but he's got this small habit of very quickly, getting very excited, and I wouldn't use the word panicking, but something goes wrong and he's on his toes. So I get a lot of calls, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, CM Saab, ye aisa ho gaya, ab kya karung main? So I get a lot of calls like that. And so every time something is happening, this man is like continuously, behind everything. So he knows what's happening, what the problem is. And he's very quick to react. And one of the first people who gets the effect of that reaction is me. It's so easy. He has my mobile number. He calls me, and some line has gone down. Arey CM Saab, wo line toot gaya. The road is gone. I said CM Saab, wo road kharab ho gaya. Or some tree is not being shifted by forest department. But I guess sir, wo ped ko hataiye. He's like that. I mean, it's true. I'm not joking. So that's what it is. But that's how things happen, and that's how we see things move. But what I'm trying to tell you in the larger picture is that I've been through the journey of every small bit of problem that USTM has had, because of maybe the position I have and the relationship we have had with Hawk Saab from my late father's time. So it's a really, I should say, satisfying moment for me to see this journey and see where USTM has come from right there to where we are today. And of course, I do expect that things will be much more brighter and much more beautiful in the future. I remember coming to the inauguration of this hall also. This hall wasn't there. And then one day he just called me, he said, you have to come, you have to inaugurate this hall. And I was surprised. I was telling my mother, she was telling me it's a beautiful hall. I told her yes, and I think maybe this is one of the better and more beautiful and most biggest halls that we have in our state. And that's in USTM. You should be very proud of this kind of small but meaningful achievements that you have seen. So, in a nutshell, I've been with USTM, seen the journey, and it makes me very, very happy to see where USTM has reached. I once again congratulate all of you and wish Hawk Saab and the entire team of USTM the very best, and most importantly, of course, the team of the PA Sangma International Medical College. I wish you also the best. There are a lot of things that Hawk Saab and I still need to discuss. We will be going into the room and starting our fight very soon on negotiating and discussing. But in all the process, let me assure you that we are here to work closely with USTM, ensure that as a government, we provide all the support that we can to make sure that USTM and the PS Sangma International Medical College succeeds and becomes a shining example to the rest of the country and the world, which I'm very sure it will. And once again, Hawk Saab, I wish you and the entire family of USTM the very best. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless our state and our country. Kublai Shibun, Matela, and Jai Hind.